Well, playoff basketball is here. The gym, nice and quiet earlier today, but it's going to get loud and ruckus here pretty soon in the Tiger Fieldhouse. Hello and welcome in on Aerovision. I'm Dylan Rivera, your play-by-play for tonight. Greg Spencer on color commentary. Regional action, Broken Arrow hosting. They've got Stillwater tonight. It's a little bit of one of those games where you kind of just got to focus on yourself, right?
Yeah, you know, it's 22-2 got you these games, the chance to get one, potentially two games. But starting tonight, both teams are 0-0, and really that's all that matters. Stillwater's got a chance to win this game just like Broken Arrow does, and we're going to pause for the national anthem. Is that right?
We'll get out of here as quick as possible. Let's go to our quick thoughts with Coach Wallace. We got boys regional bracket play tonight. Coach Wallace joining me before the game. And Coach, tonight's opponent is Stillwater. It's one of those opponents where you kind of focus on yourself a little bit more than the opponent going in, right?
Right, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that we've worked on a lot this week is just cleaning up some of the stuff that I didn't feel like we did very well during the season, especially the last few games. So we've got to do that and just get back to transition, moving the ball, and finishing.
When you do look at the opponent, though, you said they're going to shoot the ball, right? They're going to go down and actually try to put up some points. It's just a matter of if you guys can get stops and get down in transition, right?
Yeah, I think ball pressure is going to be huge. You know, we're going to have to talk on screens and we have to get through them, and then we got to challenge shots and make it difficult for them. And then once we rebound the ball, we've got to get out and run. And I think that's where we have a huge advantage on them.
Path to a championship starts today. We'll see if you guys can get all the way there. Tip off just a few moments away, live on Aerovision.
Heads up! Heads up! Here's another one, and another one. Geek, geek. Why you all in my ear talking a whole bunch of shit that I ain't trying to hear? Get back, you don't know me like that. Get back, you don't know me like that. Geek, geek. I ain't playing around. Make one false move, I take it down. Get back, you don't know me like that. Get back. You don't know me like that. Geek, geek. I ain't playing around. Make one false move, I take it down. Get back. You don't know me like that. Get back. You don't know me like that.
Welcome back inside the Tiger Fieldhouse. Tip-off just moments away now. Broken Arrow and Stillwater going head-to-head regional action. Should be a lot of fun. I think Broken Arrow has the potential to put up a lot of points today. It'll just be a matter of how quiet they can keep Stillwater. And I think Tigers should be able to pull away with some ease. As far as the starting lineups go for the visiting Pioneers, it'll be number 5, Preston Webb, a 6-foot senior. Number 13, Sam Waits, a 5'8" senior. Number 21, Bryson Brown, a 6'2" sophomore. Number 22, Orrin Reuter, 6'2" junior. And number 33, Ivan McFarland II, a 6'5" freshman. For Broken Arrow, it's number 1, Devon Wallace. Number 2, Anton Wallace, the two cousins. Senior guards, both 6'2". J.D. Talley gets the start. Number 5, 6'6" senior. DJ Howell, number 21, 6'5" senior. And Logan Shockley, a 6'6" senior, is number 33. So the usual 5 for Broken Arrow. And Greg, you've talked about it already. It's a 0-0 mindset, a clean slate for everybody. It's a brand new season starting today.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, BA's got to supply their own energy tonight. It's not your typical 8 p.m. start time with as much crowd. People got to pay, you know, if you had season tickets, whether students or whatever. So it's a little bit different. It's not going to be a typical home game. You're getting started a little bit earlier. So even though you're getting to be a host, it doesn't have that same feeling. Ultimately, it's going to depend on what kind of energy Broken Arrow brings on the defensive end. And when they bring good energy on the defensive end, good things happen.
Tigers start out with the basketball. Stillwater in a zone defense early. Up top, DJ Howell swings it to Logan Shockley into the corner. Howell up top, signals for a play. Got one high and one low, trying to break down the zone. Howell outside will try a deep three. It's well short of the basket. Ball goes out, and it'll stay with Broken Arrow.
The Bigs got to get a little more active on these next possessions, this next possession in particular against this zone. I'd like to see them flash into the gaps, get into the short corners. That's where they can really break things down. And I really like when DJ flashes in the middle and kind of controls the way they break down the zone.
Swung over to Anton Wallace. Kicks it to his cousin. It's Devon for three, and he's off the mark. Rebound with Stillwater.
Tigers a little flat early on both their open three looks, but as you see there, both of your looks that you got against that zone were three, so you can't just completely fall in love with that open three all night.
For our keys to the game, let's go down to Madison Dildine on the floor.
First, we have to apply pressure and contain Stillwater. Then we cannot allow any open shots. And lastly, get transition points and points off of turnovers. Dylan.
All right, thank you, Madison. I know that Coach Wallace was stressing with us that he wants to get these Tigers out in transition, force some turnovers, get some pressure on them, play an up-tempo brand of basketball. This is Bryson Brown on the perimeter. Screen coming from McFarland II.
And that's a familiar name for those many of them watching at home that you think about when you think of Stillwater, Oklahoma. His dad was a big-time player for the Pokes back in the day.
Played for that 2004, 2005, 2003, 2004 actually. Final Four team, coached by Eddie Sutton. And so he's got the genes to be a really good player, and that's obvious in the fact that he's starting as a freshman. Backdoor lob going for Shockley. Pass goes off the rim. Anton Wallace is open in the corner for three, and he drills it.
So not a great possession there by Broken Arrow with an errant pass and a loose ball three, but you like the result. And anytime you get Anton Wallace shooting an open look from three, you're going to take that as his cousin gets the steal.
Take that as well. Devon Wallace hands it off to Shockley. High rising layup, won't go. Poked away from McFarland. Recollected.
Shockley did a little bit too much trying to avoid the contact instead of drawing the foul there.
Brown tries a mid-range jumper in transition. Can't get it. Now Shockley running the floor. Wallace faked a three and took too many steps.
It's one of those calls that you see so often that's really just more about, did he have that plant foot, that left foot set on that shot fake? You know, if you teach kids and to really sell that shot fake and always catch on that left to right step movement, you can avoid that. But so many kids do that little shuffle step on those shot fakes and get called for that travel, really whether it was a travel or not.
Preston Webb with DJ Howell defending. Now Devon Wallace bringing pressure. Swung into the corner. Three-point attempt for Stillwater is up and good from Sam Waits.
Impressive shot making there by Sam as Stillwater gets a steal on the other end. He had a hand in his face and still knocked it down.
Webb Euro steps, and he's short on his layup attempt. Now Waits open at the three-line again. Fakes, drives, kicks back out.
A little bit of sloppy play here. First 3.5 minutes that I was kind of worried about is how would Broken Arrow come out. Short on the three there.
Attempt is short from Orrin Reuter, and it'll go the Tigers' way.
He's probably going to hear that chant a little bit from the student section for a while.
That's the benefit of hosting your regional, at least, is you do have the student section here.
And the cheerleaders, which we've got an army of them down there.
Inside tally against McFarland. One pounding dribble and a finish with the left hand.
So easily the best possession of the night so far. It took us almost 4 minutes to kind of get a post touch in a good situation, and it immediately goes for 2 points for the Tigers.
Reuter pressured by Shockley as he crosses the timeline. Going around the perimeter. Reuter, jump stop, and he's caught up. Finally gets it off to Brown. He'll try another mid-range jumper and can't buy it from the wing either. Tally inside, beautiful move, sidesteps McFarland and finishes with the left.
Get him some more touches right there, like those two plays by Tally, and the Tigers go up by 4 here early.
3:24 to go here in the first quarter. Coaching staff on Stillwater trying to calm down the bigs, figure out a way to stop Tally inside, because that's almost impossible to stop. That beautiful sidestep from Tally. And he has been the scoring leader for Broken Arrow this season. 12.3 points a game, 7 rebounds. Gets it done on both ends. 1.1 steals, 1.2 blocks. Somebody you can count on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and you got a well-balanced team on the floor for Broken Arrow when you're 22-2 and your leading scorer averages less than 13 a game. And it just shows you how hard it is for opponents to scout this team, because you really don't know on a given night. You can pick your poison. I think if I was scouting, I'm going to do everything I can to take DJ out of the game first, get the ball out of his hands as much as possible. But that's easier said than done, because you're basically playing with 3 point guards and 2 rangy, athletic, versatile post guys. Plus, you got at least 2 or 3 guys off the bench that are starter-capable talents, and that's what makes this team special.
That's one thing that Coach Wallace has stressed with us, is that he feels like he's got 8 starters on his team, and he's got 3 of them set to check in. Gene Mason, Nigel Noyes, and Corbin Dow all go to the scorer's table and will be in a few moments.
And that's really what you see most every single night, is kind of around that 3-minute mark, 2-minute mark. Those 3 guys go to the score table, 3 guys come out, and that's the rotation. As long as there's not foul trouble, those are the 8 guys that you're going to see on any given night.
Bryson Brown on the perimeter, guarded by Shockley. Once again, stops in the mid-range, and he's 0 for 3 from there. Tally driving, kicks to Anton Wallace. He wants another one, and he's got it.
Got the feet set that time, had his hands ready. And I just tell you, I feel like I'm on repeat every game. I can't say how much I've been impressed, how much better his shooting's got over the last couple of years. His cousin gets a foul drawn right there.
A little bit of an ugly play. Devon Wallace gets the steal. Oren Reuter caught Devon, I think, on the shoulder. Here's Anton for 3. Got a great stroke, and he's able to knock it down with ease. And now those substitutions made for Broken Arrow. It's Gene Mason bringing it across the midcourt line. Tigers, as you have mentioned, is coming in 22-2, 13-1 in district play. Tally inside, can't buy the bucket. Coach Wallace wanted a foul. Stillwater comes in 4-19, 1-13 in district play. Had a tough season for them. First season for Sean Morgan, their head coach. He was a 2009 graduate of Stillwater High School. Went 50-62 in 5 seasons as the head coach at Guthrie. Last season was an assistant under Scott Morris, and he has now been moved over to the girls program to make way for Sean Morgan to take over the boys.
And he's got a young team, and you've got a tough assignment when you take a young team on the road to play one of the top 2 teams in the state, a team that's only lost 1 game to anybody from Oklahoma all year. And a 10-second call is Tigers apply that zone press, doing a good job there to force a turnover.
Just didn't feel like there was a whole lot of urgency from Stillwater to try to get across the line. With about 1:15 to go, the Tigers up by 7 in the first quarter. Pass deflected by Reuter. Stays with Broken Arrow. Howell inbounds it to Tally. He's right underneath the basket. Great job getting position and a great finish.
I think that's 6 straight points by Tally as the Tigers have extended the lead out 12-3, their largest of the night.
Waits. That's Charlie Rutherford. Kick out to the wing. 3-pointer won't go. Tigers on the run out. Howell chasing it down, tried to flick it up for Dow. He's going to get it right back, and the lefty layup is good.
Well, that is not the kind of assist if you want if you're Stillwater there, as you made the pass to the wrong team. bailed Broken Arrow out of a little bit of a sloppy transition opportunity, but they'll take it as Dow knocks it in for the easy 2.
Bryson Brown will try a three-pointer, and it's off the mark. Rebound Noise. Outlet pass to Talley. Driving in, spinning, flicking it up, and he's fouled in the process. First time we will go to the free throw line today. Neither side has been able to draw a shooting foul until now.
Got to find a way to get one here. You got 10 seconds left. 15-3 would be a pretty comfortable first quarter lead, and more importantly, you really just like the way you've defended here in the first quarter. The offense has not been great, but you'll take the 15-3 lead as they get another steal.
Howell able to rip that one out of the air. Driving to the rim. Nice Euro step move, and he's able to finish with the right hand. 17-3 to score as we close out the first quarter. The Tigers are well in control of this one, Greg.
Yeah, like I said, defensively, I think they did everything that Coach Wallace would want. I'm sure he's going to talk to him about cleaning a few things up offensively, but you'll take a 17-3 lead as we go here to the second quarter.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
One quarter of play is done. The Tigers in front by 14. 8 minutes on the clock for quarter number 2. Madison Dildine listening in to Coach Wallace in the huddle. What do you have to say, Madison?
He said, hey, listen, you cannot wait for them. We have to move defensively. He said, cut to the rim, and we've got some easy baskets, but we're going to have to continue to talk. Dylan.
All right, Madison, thank you. See if the Tigers can maintain their lead. Stillwater obviously going to try to cut into it. Only one basket in that first quarter. Came from a Sam Waits three-pointer. And that's not going to be the way to get it done. A turnover as Preston Webb was trying to connect with Bradford Mitchell. Von Wallace brings it up the floor. Patience from the Tigers here. Stillwater still in that zone defense. Screen from Dow. Noise uses it, kicks it to the corner. Wallace fakes, fires, and cashes out. Anton Wallace with 9 points now.
And I thought about saying something, but I realized I probably just sound like a broken record when I was talking about how much better of a shooter he's got.
3 of 3 now. Mitchell driving right into Gene Mason and able to get a tough shot to go. And Stillwater finally able to break that seal on the bucket. Wallace left open in the corner for 3 again. He's got it!
I feel like I got to say something. This 4 for 4, carrying the load offensively. You know, and the thing about Anton is he just recognizes and he takes good shots. You know, I don't think I've seen him take a bad shot in the 3 or 4 years that I've seen him play basketball here at Broken Arrow as Tigers force another turnover.
Devon Wallace running it up the floor, going at the basket. Can't get the layup to go. Stillwater the other way. Webb driving. Fouled. Got it.
Count the basket for Preston Webb. Foul called on Tigers.
Preston Webb going to the line to make it an And one opportunity.
And I give Webb some shout out on his shoe choice for the night. He's wearing some KDs from back in the early days with Oklahoma City, one of his first pairs. I remember because I actually had those shoes myself, which I would probably look ridiculous trying to wear them now. But at the time, I loved them.
It's not quite Stillwater yellow, though. The yellow
No, it's a little bit
more
off, but I don't think these kids really care what color their shoes are these days. The days of team shoes and matching shoes have gone out the window.
Well, you played back in the days of Converse, right?
No. my father did.
It's an offensive foul on Gene Mason. I believe it was a moving screen as they were trying to clear up Anton for another three-point opportunity. Long pass, trying to break that press, and they do. Stillwater now trying to get patiently into an offense, but the Tigers have been all up in their business every time down the floor. Webb making a smart play in the corner. Couldn't catch it, but able to throw it off of Anton Wallace and keep possession. Substitution being made by Stillwater. Number 25 is checking into the game. That's Langton Williamson. Inside McFarland. Dow defending. Post shot no good. Now Dow turns on the burners. Running into the lane. Kicks it to Anton Wallace. Can't get the layup.
Too close.
Gets it over to Nigel Noyes, though. Lefty finish. No. But Noyes will head to the free throw line. Nigel Noyes might be hoping for a Northwest Classen matchup in the next round. As BA beat Northwest Classen 84-53 on December 10th, 79-52 on February 1st. In that February 1st game, Nigel Noyes had 21 points off the bench. You remember we named him the player of the game. Looked really good in that outing.
Yeah, Nigel's always that instant impact guy off the bench, always ready to score, and certain matchups are going to favor him on certain nights, but he's always going to he's got one particular thing that he does extremely well, and that's go get buckets, and he did it very well that night.
So since this is the first round of regionals, there's a double dribble from Orrin Reuter. This being the first round of regional action, Broken Arrow playing Stillwater, but after this, there's another game here on the Fieldhouse floor with PC West and Northwest Classen going head-to-head. Winner of that game will play the winner of this game on Saturday.
7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock start time, 3:30 for the girls. We know that Broken Arrow is advancing to play Westmore at 3:30 on the girls' side. Tigers hoping to advance and play at 7 tomorrow.
So one thing for fans at home that are interested in watching both, it will be two separate broadcasts, unlike a typical home game where the games are in continuation. So
Shockley tries a corner three. It's off the mark. That time fouled as he got back in the lane and flung one up at the rim.
Foul called on Pioneers, number 10, David Thomas. First personal.
Well, and the Tigers really doing everything when you look at their defensive keys that they kind of had in the game. Anticipate, don't react, having 5 people go to the glass, search out your advantages. Those are things that they're doing really well right now that they keyed in on. And getting a little bit better offensively as the game goes on. Now we got to knock down our free throws.
I'm glad you bring up rebounds. The Tigers only lost the rebound battle 3 times all season. Once to Union, and that was only a 2-point deficit, but lost it twice to Sand Springs, out-rebounded by 20 in that loss late in the season. I know that Coach Wallace is going to be stressing physicality on the rebounds.
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't looked in depth as to where Sand Springs is on the bracket, but it's a team you could see down the road again that you've had some matchup problems with. But I think if you're Broken Arrow, it's probably a team you don't want to necessarily avoid because you'd like to have some revenge.
Three-pointer from Webb is short. Rebound Shockley, and the Tigers are off to the races. Shockley into the lane, and a blocking foul.
Good aggressive transition opportunity there. Didn't really have good spacing on the 2-on-1 drive there. Luckily, Shockley was able to kind of force the issue and draw the foul. You would have liked to see Nyjah spread out a little bit more and get into that corner.
First free. Shockley.
Number 21, Bryson Brown, checking in for the Pioneers.
Tigers are getting out in transition. That was one of those keys to the game that Coach Wallace had told us he wants to see Broken Arrow do. Second free throw good.
Broken Arrow switching things up a little bit on this possession defensively, coming out in a 1-3-1 as Dow gets the steal and then promptly gives it right back.
Bryson Brown now into the corner. Williamson gives it back to Brown. 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Three-pointer from Reuter. Off target. Offensive board Stillwater. Fighting inside. Great job by Aries Willis to get the finish. Dow drives baseline, rises up, and he is fouled hard. That's actually going to be a charge on Dow.
That is not a good call. You've got to be able to protect. You know, in the NBA, they have that circle there that you got to get out of to get the charge. And I guarantee if you had one of those, you would have seen that guy was in it right now. You know, your offensive player goes up for a dunk and gets just left out to dry. If we can get a replay of that at some point, I'd like to see it because I really don't think that was the correct call.
Dow goes to the bench. So does Nyjah Noyes. Coach Wallace having a conversation with Dow, I think, also just trying to make sure that your players are healthy is one thing you got to keep in mind in these early regional games, especially right now being up by 18. You don't want Dow to get hurt in a situation like this.
Yeah, and obviously you got DJ's been nursing the shoulder injury there, as you see, with a brace for a while. But all in all, you're in pretty good health as the season starts to wind down as DJ gets an and one.
Shoulders right into a defender and finishes. He's going to the charity stripe. Here's the replay on that layup from DJ Howell. Able to draw contact, leaning in with that left shoulder. He's got the brace on. Talked to Coach Wallace about DJ Howell's health, and he hurt that shoulder against Edmond North. He said there was a time in practice where his shoulder also got hurt, and he was starting to get worried about both shoulders because it was two different shoulders. But DJ totally fine, says keep carrying on, and obviously just going to keep that extra layer of protection on to be safe. But one thing to be wary of going forward.
Yeah, and DJ's a tough kid. You know, 2 years ago in that state tournament run all the way to the finals, he was nursing a knee injury the entire time. So not a guy that you worry about being able to play through injuries.
The Tigers up by 21 right now. Again, this is the first round of regionals. Game tomorrow night against PC West and Northwest Classon's winner is where Broken Arrow wants to be. And should Broken Arrow beat Stillwater tonight, we will have that broadcast for you live on ArrowVision. Mentioned that the Tigers beat Northwest Clason twice this season. As far as meeting with PC West, it was a little tougher to find their last matchup. I had to go way back into the archives, and you may remember this game. Last meeting with PC West was March 3rd of 2018 at Bixby when BA won 75-67. And I believe that was an area matchup.
Yeah, it was the Caleb Huffman team.
Against Rondell Walker's PC West. Caleb Huffman, Josh Robinson, Cameron Dennis. It's a good squad that year.
Yeah, lost in the semifinals, I believe, to Edmond Santa Fe. Is that right? Memorial? One of the Edmond schools, I think.
Drive inside, blocked by Talley. Gene Mason got the rebound. He's running it out. Into the lane, kick to Howell, pump fake. Too strong. Talley, second chance, he's got it.
Good job there on the follow-up by Talley as he gets a little bit closer to being the second guy in double figures here tonight. Looks like the Tigers have picked it up on defense here.
Howell steals it, sidesteps, and finishes.
Noticeable kind of an energy boost. You know, I'm sure Coach Wallace got into him a little bit on that last time out about finishing this half on a high note.
McFarland into the lane and fouled by Talley.
A little bit late there on that rotation. Talley had to come back and kind of help when that still didn't happen.
Number 5, Jalen Talley, first personal foul, fourth team foul. Number 33, Ivan McFarland to the line, shooting 2.
Ivan McFarland, the second, gets the first free throw to go. Always really impressive to see when freshmen are in the starting lineup. This is playoff basketball, and you've got a freshman out there in your first 5, and he's getting significant minutes. And that definitely bodes well for Stillwater's future. Somebody that you can lean on going forward. Somebody that's got some good roots to him.
Well, and I feel like you see it more often than not now. In the past, there would be times when maybe teams had guys that might have been good enough, but they had to kind of earn their stripes. More than ever, if you've got a talented freshman, you got to play him right away, or else you're going to risk losing him to another school.
Driving in, finishing off the window is Aries Willis. Talley, outlet pass, left-hand finish. They answer right back with it in the blink of an eye.
Wow, that was the best transit. That was very impressive there by Nyjah and Talley. You gave up an easy bucket, but you answered with what technically was an easy bucket. Was really actually just very impressive execution on that outlet pass and the finish.
Waits down to the floor, trying to find a way out of trouble, and he'll roll it out of play. I think Broken Arrow would like a travel in that situation. Waits hit that first bucket for Stillwater in the first quarter and has not scored since. Howell to Shockley, 1 minute to go. And a travel called against Logan Shockley.
Number 4, Corbin Dow.
Corbin Dow back into the game, taking the place of DJ Howell.
Shockley there on that play that you see a lot. You know, kind of looks almost like a play action, like you get in football. Had it there, but just didn't get the feet set.
Active hands from Talley. Able to pick that pass off. Gene Mason upstairs to Talley. And the lob finished with a layup.
A lot of transition buckets here in this second quarter by Broken Arrow. That really the energy on both ends is picked up to make this a 39-13 lead.
Swung over to Brown. Three-pointer, good.
Number 21, Bryson Brown for the Pioneer 3.
Dow on the perimeter, thought about a three-pointer. Talley now, going to work. Spinning baseline and finishing with the left hand. Right before the buzzer, and he's got 15 now at the intermission. Brown's going to try one more opportunity from way outside, and it's short. 41-16, the Tigers in front, and they have been in the driver's seat from start to half.
Yeah, and it feels like Talley can get a good look anytime he wants as we go down here to Madison Dillidine, see if she asks Coach about Talley's first half performance.
Coach, what did you think about J.D. Talley's first half performance?
I mean, Talley's doing what Talley does. I'm just really happy with our guys' defensive intensity right now as a whole. But, you know, we just keep giving him the ball, and he just makes things happen.
What do you want to see improve in the second half?
I thought we had some careless turnovers. You know, DJ had some. I took him out kind of late in the game. So he's just got to clean that up, and he knows that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Madison, thank you. 41-16 halftime score. J.D. Talley with 15 points. He's almost matched Stillwater's total here through the first 16 minutes of action. Got a lot more coming your way here on AeroVision. Second half right around the corner. We'll take a quick break and come back.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. If you and your family have been waiting for the perfect time to jump into your dream home, it's here. We make buying a new home as easy as it is exciting with quick credit approvals and great rates. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Your side hustle keeps you moving. We'll help you get where you really want to go. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. All within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Your side hustle keeps you moving. We'll help you get where you really want to go. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Welcome back to the Tiger Fieldhouse. 41-16 score at the intermission. Broken Arrow well in front. And the Tigers went back to the locker room, going back to the drawing board on a couple of things, really just trying to make sure they take care of the ball. Coach Wallace was a little upset with some of those Howell turnovers late in that second quarter. And there was this play that, Greg, you were feeling like was a little bit controversial.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's not remotely set. He comes over from the other side. You know, Dow goes up for a dunk. You got to protect everybody on the court in those situations. Your offensive player that's going up for a dunk has got to be protected too. I just feel too often high school officials lean towards calling the charge whether a guy's remotely set or not, which he wasn't in that case. So I just had to get that off my chest.
Howell got another early turnover here in the third quarter, diving on the floor to get this one. Now Wallace running out, and he's fouled. It'll be on the floor. But Howell at least doing everything he can to get the ball back. Took the fight right to Preston Waits.
Well, that's what you want to see. You know, don't multiply mistakes. You turn it over, go force a turnover. Good things happen when you do those things.
Wallace kicks out to Talley. Talley with 15 points right now. Shockley, long mid-range jumper, off the mark. Rebound Waits. Last meeting with Stillwater for Broken Arrow was last season. These two in the same district played twice. Broken Arrow went 2-0 against the Pioneers. And hoping to carry that success over to this season. Talley Driving. And can't get the finish. Rebound McFarland.
A good transition outlet pass there by Wallace, but Talley uncharacteristically unable to get that two to fall in.
Brown will try a deep three-pointer, and he got it to go. Howell will try to answer right back, and he will.
Not a shot that you see a lot from DJ in that situation, kind of what I call a think about it three, where they gave you just enough space to go and pull it, where even though it's not a shot that's caught in rhythm, he had his body under control and knocked it down.
Brown wants another one. He's short. Rebound with Talley. Now Howell running the floor. Poke from behind by Webb. Ball's loose. Talley not called for a foul.
A lot of hand action there. At the very least, you would have thought that went off Stillwater. I'm not quite sure how they ended up with the ball.
From our vantage point, that looked like a pretty clear foul, but we carry on, 44-19. Waits, fakes the three, puts it on the floor. Brown going to work in the post. Kicks it to Webb. Miscommunication. Shockley by himself. Going up and finishing through contact. I think he wanted to drop the hammer. Couldn't quite get up there through the hit from Root, but still able to get the finish.
Fortunately, though, for him, if you look here, he kind of takes a quick glance back, which I think then helped him kind of be able to realize I was about to get hit, and he finished just strong enough to get a chance for an and one.
Shockley's free throw good, the old-fashioned three-point play.
I find Shockley's two left-handed dribble and then shoot free throw routine a little unorthodox, personally. I don't know about you, if you've ever noticed it.
I've not noticed it, but I'll pay attention next time around.
He takes two dribbles with the left hand before then shooting with the right hand. One of the little quirky things I notice as Devon gets a steal.
Now Talley running it out. Stripped cleanly by Brown. Over to the corner. Rutan will try a three. Rebound, Talley. It was Reuter, excuse me. Now Talley into the lane. Strong through contact, and he goes to the free throw line.
Coach Wallace going to his bench in these, or should we say the additional three starters here to start the second half. About a minute or two early, because I think he doesn't like the flow of things offensively. A little bit sloppy play like we saw in the first quarter here to start the third.
Feels like maybe this group on the floor right now knows they have a lead. They're comfortable. And they're not playing with that sense of urgency that Coach Wallace wants.
And that's the beauty of being able to bring those three guys in there for that, 3/5 of a second line unit that you got there. Anytime that you feel that things need to be shook up a little bit, you're not just stretching to kind of put in questionable guys. You're automatically able to put in three guys that you feel highly confident in every time.
Pressure from the Tigers in the backcourt. Mason defending Brown. Ball finds its way to Mitchell. McFarland inside. Too strong. Noise. Drives, tries to kick to Dow. Reuter read it. Another Tiger turnover here in the third. Brown fires a three-pointer, and he's way off.
And if you're Stillwater right now, you got to be a little disappointed that if you're the coach, you don't feel like Broken Arrow's playing great, but you're not really able to answer with any kind of run so far here.
Noise on the left wing. Looking to get it into Dow in the post. Reuter taking it away.
Well, and that's back-to-back possessions with just kind of slightly lazy passes there.
Brown tried a three-pointer. Mason and Brown going back and forth, trying to get the rebound. Brown comes away with it. Now Dow with it. And a foul in the backcourt on Bryson Brown.
This has been an ugly 4 minutes of basketball, really, by both teams here to start the second half. Wouldn't be surprised to see, I don't think Coach Wallace wants to call a timeout, but I think if it goes on much longer, you'll probably see one. And that's the things that, in a lot of ways, in these playoff games, in these first-round games, that if you are the number 1 seed, you might potentially have a blowout. A lot of things you're coaching against yourself as much as you are your opponent.
Foul at the high post. Goes against Lacton Williamson. Well, that's why you hear all the time in these pregame conversations we have where these coaches will say that they're just worried about themselves and worried about what they're doing. Usually those kind of games and those kind of responses are in games like this where the records are vastly different, and it's not so much worrying about how the opponent's going to come out and strategize against you. Let's just make sure we're doing things right on our end.
Yeah, and luckily if you're the boys in this case, you're at least playing a respectable opponent in Stillwater that is going to fight, that is going to battle you against, whereas, nothing against PC West girls last night, but that's a special circumstance and situation where they lost a lot of kids. They only had 6. And if you're Coach Coffey, you almost feel like it was just a wasted night that you just kind of get to move on.
Noyes by himself, going up for just a layup.
But it's one of those unfortunate, and I've been there, and there was a year when I was still coaching at Mount St. Mary in Oklahoma City where we played a school that was kind of like PC West was. I'm not going to name names, but it just was it was not useful. You would have got more out of it in a practice situation.
Offensive rebound and a tough finish from Reuter. Goes right through Shockley to get the and one. Shockley felt like it was an offensive foul more than anything else. And here's a replay of that last bucket for BA. Noyes getting the layup.
And all that to say, ultimately, when you have those first-round games that you're going to potentially win comfortably, you still want to get something out of it. You want to get something that when you go to the shoot-around the next day before you play Saturday, or when you play Saturday, you want to have things that you can point to, like, hey, we did this well, we didn't do this well. You want to have just one of those games where it served no purpose.
Stillwater coming in had lost 8 in a row before winning their regular season finale against Muskogee 63-60. Noyes running, getting it up and finishing. Tough bucket.
Yeah, and Coach Wallace threw the hands up a little bit there. It kind of feels a little bit like the refs have swallowed the whistles here in the second quarter, letting these teams play, which if you let both teams play, that's fine.
Howell will try a corner 3. Rattles out. 53-21. Reuter steps into a straightaway three-pointer. Can't buy it. Noyes once again pushing it, trying to find Dow. Telegraphed that one, and Williamson was able to get a touch to it. Here's a replay. Gene Mason getting the steal. Noyes going right into the chest of the defender and getting the finish. Dow driving in. Little floater at the Tiger logo that ripped through on the court floor. And Dow's got 4.
That's the kind of shot I'd like to see him shoot more of. He's really capable of it. He can often get in mismatch situations because you kind of don't know whether to guard him with a bigger guy or a smaller guy. And he's got that kind of tweener height. You see him take threes, you see him drive for dunks, but I'd like to see that mid-range game expand.
Shot rejected low. Noyes running it out, and he's rejected on the other end. What do you call that under the free throw line? Is that a slash, would you say? I called that a rip. I couldn't think of what that, I guess you could call that a Tiger's slash, like a claw mark.
Sure, why not? Yeah, it's a claw.
Well, yeah, but I was trying to figure out what you would call that in conversation.
Paws, claws.
Howell will try a 3. And he breaks out the claws. Cash is out from outside. And Howell's got 13.
Whoops.
Another steal. Tigers in transition. It's Noyes measuring up those steps, getting the foul, and the finish.
Game's starting to get away. It doesn't really feel like the Tigers are up by 40, but that's what they'll be here if Nija can finish the and one.
So Nija Noyes trying to bring his total to 9 here. Can't do so. Remember, the halftime score was 41-16, so the Tigers have outscored Stillwater 19-6 here in the third quarter, and that's with some sloppy play on the offensive end.
Yeah, neither team's played particularly great, but it's kind of just been a helter-skelter back and forth third quarter, which is going to favor the more talented, quicker, more athletic team in Broken Arrow.
Mason, the outlet pass to Troy Bell. One strong dribble, and he goes down to the floor and called for a travel.
Well, nice job there by Bell catching what was a tough pass, a good pass, but a tough pass, but unable to get his feet set in the paint from the young big man, and Stillwater gets it back.
Troy Bell, a junior. He'll be back next season for Broken Arrow. Pioneers, a young team as well. Plenty of freshmen, sophomores, juniors littered throughout. To my count, there was only 4 seniors on the roster. And that means that Stillwater is going to have some growing to do as well. Rutherford trying to get by Wallace, can't do so. Stolen again by the Tigers. It's Dow driving. Fouled, and to the free throw line we go.
Active hands there on defense by Corbin Dow as he forces the turnover. Gets to go knock down a couple free throws.
That last game that we had here at the Tiger Fieldhouse was against Sand Springs. And in that game, Adam Winkin was doing color commentary. Did a nice job, by the way.
Yeah.
And he was raving about Corbin Dow and how he felt like he played that night, and I agreed. He was doing everything right for Broken Arrow that night. On a tough night, he was making all the right plays, and tonight, maybe not quite as successful, but again, right place, right time, a lot of the time for Corbin Dow.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, you know, Corbin Dow would be a starter at maybe 30 of the other 6A schools. He is not here this year, but he plays starter-type minutes, and next year is going to be a chance for him to truly shine. But he's going to have his moments in the playoffs, too, because there may be a night where he needs to play 25 minutes instead of 20 in order for Broken Arrow to advance. And I think he's a guy, as well as those other 2 guys off the bench, that are capable of being your leading scorer and affecting the game in a lot of ways on any given night.
And another young guy out there on the floor now, Coy Lemons, another junior. Checked into the game moments ago. Tigers up by 39 now after the made free throw. Sam Waits and Preston Webb about to check in. Webb is in, and Waits will wait on the shooter. 14.6 on the clock. Tigers will likely work for one last shot here in the third quarter. Noyes, Anton Wallace, Coy Lemons, Troy Bell, and Corbin Dow. Noyes goes to work. Long 2. Didn't like that shot. You could see it in his face. An outlet pass to Waits is too late. 61-23 the score after 3 quarters. And we keep saying it after every single quarter, but the Tigers, again, dominating in the driver's seat. They're in charge.
Doing what you should be doing as one of the number 1 seeds, a team that is expected to play a lot of ball games here in the next few weeks, and just got to finish it off, stay healthy, and get till tomorrow.
8 minutes on the clock for quarter number 4. Coming right up here on AeroVision.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we're devoted to improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends and neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hey, Broken Arrow fans! Score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union's School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Broken Arrow Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Tigers way out ahead here in the fourth quarter, live on AeroVision. Dylan Rivera on play-by-play, Greg Spencer color commentary, and Madison Dildine is our sideline reporter. Pioneers try a quick three with Preston Webb. It's way off. Madison Dildine was listening in to Coach Wallace just moments ago. Madison.
He said, hey, we cannot lose our focus here. We have to continue to make it hard on them and take care of the little things. He said this is game 1 of 5 in the road to state, and we need to remember that. Dylan.
Wise words. Path does not end here. This is just the beginning. Mentioned it early on in this broadcast. Got to act as if every single game your opponent and you are 0-0. Lemons tries a corner three. Everybody up on their feet. It's a little long. Coy Lemons, the lefty. And now Israel Wilson into the game. Senior guard, 6'1".
Anton Wallace, the only starter on the court right now. Unlikely you see too many of the main guys for the remainder here in the fourth quarter.
Layup won't go for Stillwater. Rebound Wilson. Coy Lemon stops, kicks it over to Dow. It's deflected. And the officiating crew says it'll be Pioneer basketball.
Gene Mason checking in for the Tigers. On this call.
And Gene Mason in for Nigel Noyes.
If you could have one takeaway offensively for Broken Arrow that you can kind of go back to the locker room after tonight and say, I don't feel like we did this well in a potentially 40-point win, it's going to be turnovers. I think a lot of unfundamental passing at times by Broken Arrow, just being a little bit lazy with the delivery of the basketball, and that was an example there. You had a guy that just got in the game for the first time tonight. You got an open guy cutting across to the block, and you just don't make that fundamental read and execution.
Aries Willis to the free throw line after a strong finish, right into the chest of Corbin Dow. The bump and the bucket. And the free throw good as well. Tigers finished the regular season with the best overall record in 6A. Second best going by district point system, as Owasso is knotted up with them in district play. And that's the team that, as of right now, is the one to beat. Reigning state champions. And they are on their path to what they think will be another state title. Broken Arrow going to try to play spoiler in that scenario, as will a number of other teams. Landscape across 6A basketball, really exciting to see teams get upset. I mean, we talked about already the Sand Springs game here on this floor when Broken Arrow got beat. Felt like a little bit of a shock to some folks.
Yeah, and Union beat Owasso a couple weeks
what
before.
My next point was going to be, yeah.
That huge, that next time was a 25, 30-point victory for Owasso. So, we don't know when those two teams are going to play, but ideally it would be in a state championship. I think that's what everybody loved to see. There's a lot of other good teams out there, though, that can get in people's way. And once you get past this, it is double elimination. But in order to kind of see that, we don't know what the state pairings would look like, and we got to get there first. But when you get there in a week or two and they put together those brackets, hopefully Broken Arrow and Owasso are on those opposite sides, and we see it in a championship. I think that's been the dream scenario for us all year long that we've talked about.
Aries Willis at the free throw line, shooting 2.
And we did see that matchup last year in a semifinal. And if we see it again this year in a semifinal, I'm just going to hope that it's not at 10 a.m., which it's just mind-boggling to me that that we can play that many games of basketball and you reward somebody with a state semifinal game at 10 in the morning.
Well, this year the state semifinals also being held at UConn for 6A.
Yeah, for 6A, which if you're gonna play me later than 10 in the morning, I'm all for it. Put me anywhere. Put me on a street court. Don't make me play at 10 in the morning.
The rest of the state tournament at the OKC Fairgrounds. Corbin Dow hoping to help lead the Tigers there. Elbow jumper will help out. Three-pointer from Webb. Can't find the rim.
Wasso playing Muskogee tonight.
Waits the steal.
Excuse me, Bartlesville. And then the winner of Jinx Muskogee.
Three-pointer won't go for the Pioneers. Mason in transition. Sidesteps one. Crazy layup. Can't go for him. Webb in transition. Tries another three. Off back rim. And Wilson the rebound.
There have not been a lot of offensive possessions ran here in the second half. It's been a lot of back and forth transition basketball opportunities. Neither team has had very long possessions, to say the least.
Wilson with a bad pass, but somehow Broken Arrow comes back away with it. Mason in the corner will try a three-pointer, and he's got it.
Got the friendly home rim rattle there on that one.
Gene Mason's on the score sheet for the first time tonight. Tigers once again up by 39. Webb will try another three. He's been firing up a lot of them tonight. Dow's pass to Wilson just out of his reach.
Add that to the list of errant passes that we've talked about that you're going to have to clean up as the game progresses. This is a game. Nice three-pointer there, rattles in there.
Throughout most of this season, I'm bringing up the turnovers. The Tigers, generally speaking, have only had double-digit victories when they get double-digit assists.
Yeah.
And they keep those turnovers low.
Yeah.
And tonight they're up by a lot, and this is a different scenario, but in the grand scheme of things, you want to make sure you're taking care of the basketball tonight, a time when they'll probably talk things over about that because you got a lot of tough opponents ahead.
Yeah, Coach Wallace isn't going to go to sleep tonight and be really stressing out about the turnovers, but he's probably going to make them think in the locker room and before tomorrow that the turnovers were a big deal, because this is a game that honestly, if we just were a little bit stronger with the ball right now, it's probably 85-17, which it's, you're picking and choosing little things that you want to talk about. But in a game like this where you're up by as much as you are and you want to play the best basketball you can and carry that over, that is the thing that you take away in a big victory like this that you could have done better.
But of course, you know this as a former coach yourself, as Gene Mason takes a long two and knocks it down. There's never going to be a perfect game.
No.
You're always going to come away with something that you can improve on and something you can get better at.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do each round, no matter if you win by 5 or 55.
Here's a replay of that Gene Mason bucket, and he just creates space with ease.
Whoops. those shoes that we were talking about earlier about got left on the court there.
Didn't help him with grip on that one. 70-27, 3.5 to go until that final buzzer sounds. Again, another game coming up after this one. PC West and Northwest Classen should be a good one. The Patriots 10-14 overall, 7-7 in District 3. That gets them the 4 seed in that district. Number 5 in District 4 was Northwest Classen, 10-13 overall, 5-9 in district play. We saw Northwest Classen on this floor, and they've got the capability of being a good team. They've got some athletes that can really get out and run. We haven't seen PC West this year, but a team that certainly has earned their right to be that number 4 team and to be here today.
Yeah, and traditionally it's a good program. It's a team that has competed and won state championships, and not quite as good this year as they've been in some years past, but a team that if you don't play well tomorrow could certainly give Broken Arrow a tight contest if they're able to advance.
Madison, during that timeout, what did Coach Wallace say?
He said, don't relax. We have to finish this game strong, but we cannot continue to play sloppy. He said, we do not have to be in a hurry, guys.
All right, Madison, thank you.
So if you're watching at home and you're thinking, Greg and Dylan are kind of harping on sloppy passing, especially Greg, he's saying the same thing.
Israel Wilson, the steal and the layup on the other end. Defense to offense for the senior guard.
Now we got a reverse score.
That's true, 72-27. 2 more substitutes getting ready to come in for Broken Arrow. Gardner fouls Webb on his way to the rim, and Preston Webb will go to the free throw line.
The reverse score did not last very long.
There's Wilson to the rack. Doesn't need that left hand, just one hand, easy finish. Gene Mason and Coy Lemons subbed off. And into the game, number 22, James Jones. And number 13 for the Tigers.
Josh Giddey. Or Cheney Josh. I don't know if that's a put down or a compliment. Josh Giddey's actually been playing really well for the Bulls lately. I don't know if anybody around here has noticed.
Webb, run out, try another three-pointer. Can't get it. Ball on the floor. Slowing things down. Long three-pointer. Off the mark for Stillwater. Ball's loose and a turnover in the backcourt. It'll go Stillwater's way. Even this late in the game, 72-29, Coach Wallace just put his hands on his head, stressed out about a turnover in the backcourt.
Well, you want to see those guys that don't get the opportunities go in and play the way that you played the previous, 29, 30 minutes, which isn't always the case, and you want those guys to have good, clean opportunities, and as a coach, it doesn't always happen. That guy has come off the bench launching from three.
It was a low arcing three. Stillwater had a second opportunity, but couldn't finish. Gardner, the inbound pass, or the end of the post pass, and Troy Bell fouled, and he got the dunk to go. I didn't get as amped up about it because it was one of those lucky.
Kind of pulled the rim down to get it, though. I don't know. Did they count it?
Lucky launch into the bucket. They, I believe, did. They do count it. And I think that'll go down in the score sheet as a dunk, but the score sheet doesn't have pictures, so I guess that's all that matters.
Well, 23 for Stillwater is Cale Weber, 6-foot senior that's coming in there launching those threes off the bench. So we know why. He's trying to get on the scoreboard on what appears to be his last high school game. So let's see if he gets up a few more shots.
I think the Pioneers want to see him get up there as well. Step back, three-pointer, won't go for Waits. Rebound Gardner.
Waits also a senior, but he's been playing all game.
Bell was running the lanes beautifully. Gardner's lob pass just a little off the mark, but it was there. Minute and a half to play. Three-pointer in the corner. It's good from Cale Weber. And that's what the Pioneers were waiting to see.
Yeah, he was pointing at the bench that he was intending to come in there and get those threes off.
Lemons subbed back in, takes the place of Troy Bell.
Want to give a shout out to the whole Aerovision crew tonight, particularly the students. Just, I kind of often find myself watching the monitor just to make sure that everybody's camera work is great, but they've done a fantastic job tonight. All across the board, our 5-man, or actually 3-man, 2 female student crew. We got producers, we've got graphics, we've got 3 cameras, and then of course we got Sean Hill down on the court with the court cam.
Phenomenal effort all around, and
we'll be bringing you Broken Arrow basketball all the way up to the state tournament. And if those teams, both of our teams, hopefully advance to Oklahoma City in the state tournament, we will have to bring you audio-only broadcasts, but we'll talk about that later. Good job getting your hands there on the ball, getting a deflection.
Time ticking away, less than a minute, 76-32. Tigers will cruise to victory here in the first game of the Broken Arrow Regional. Gardner feeds it off, and just a layup for Williams, and he does not want to dunk it, I guess.
Getting a chant from the crowd as another three goes down by Weber. And he's going to finish his high school career with 2 threes.
All smiles from Stillwater.
Game, yeah.
Down by so much, they're still having fun. Even Coach Morgan is smiling, happy to see Weber come in, get a couple of buckets. And obviously a long road ahead of Stillwater as they continue to build that program. First-year head coach, you're always coming into a tough situation, but hoping to turn things around and build a winner in Stillwater. As far as the Tigers go, they are a winner tonight, 78-35. They'll be playing tomorrow night. You get to win on Friday, you get a weekend spot, don't you?
Apparently Northwest Classen was ready to warm up.
Northwest Classen and PC.
They're not wasting any time.
PC West, the next contest, and yeah, the Northwest Classen crew is already out there getting warmed up. Tigers pull off a big victory, moving on to play the winner of that game, and we'll see that matchup here in just a few moments, but we will not have that one here on ArrowVision. We will, however, have Saturday's games, so you can find out who won if you tune in on Saturday.
Yeah, 3:30 girls tomorrow, boys at 7.
Girls
Both
should be
teams,
an exciting game.
Yeah,
It's against
I was
Westmore.
impressed with the Westmore team last night. I think they are capable of giving our girls a really good early test in the playoffs, and I know Coach Coffey probably feels the same way after scouting them as we go down here to Madison-Dildine.
They were yapping. What are you looking to clean up and then build upon for tomorrow's matchup?
Probably, like I said at halftime, we had way too many turnovers. I think we just kind of relaxed, but I like our defensive intensity, so we've just got to continue to focus on that, get stops, and then easy buckets.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madison. Thanks, Coach Wallace. And I'm sure he will be happy going home, but still some things to clean up. We've talked about it already. We'll say it one more time before we get out of here, trying to clean up those turnovers.
Yeah, senior-laden team earned the right to host these regional games for both the boys and the girls, and we're going to be here tomorrow. 2 awesome games with a chance to go on to area and then a chance to go on to state from there. But yeah, you got to find those coaching points, and I think that's going to be the one thing that Coach Wallace is going to say is our passing could have been a lot better tonight, fellas.
I think if we were going to award a player of the game, it might be J.D. Talley. I thought he played really well in that first half and then into the third quarter before the starters kind of came out and saw their final
Anton Wallace
minutes.
got the Tigers off to a really good start offensively when they were a little sluggish early. I really liked the way he played as well.
So we'll name co-player of the games tonight, and Anton Wallace and J.D. Talley. If you tuned in all night with us, we thank you for joining us. We hope you'll tune in tomorrow. Again, 3:30, Broken Arrow girls against Westmore, and 7 p.m., Broken Arrow boys against the winner of this contest that's about to tip off here on the Fieldhouse floor between Northwest Classen and PC West. For Greg Spencer, for our awesome crew, and for Madison Dildine, we will see you tomorrow night.